Okay, hello. This section we're going to do the UV mapping of the six-pack case, and then we can start having a lot of fun making everything look pretty. Like we've done before, make sure you select the six-pack case polygon object and go to the paint setup wizard. Deselect all, select all the six-pack case, hit next, next. This one needs to be 2048, definitely. Finish and close. Okay, so it did a pretty good job of laying out some of the things that we need. But I really would like to keep the handle part together and all these other parts, like these outer parts, together too. And you can see these have all been laid out and separated out. So the easiest thing to do, I would think, for this, because it's going to have to be a little bit of manual, just like manual texturing, manual laying out these polygons and UV polygons. I'm going to just select these and see where they are. See, they're all in different parts. So let me see how this works. See, for this one, we could try the box projection and see how that works. Now that we have, as it is cubic, in a way, it is a box in the sense that it's a cube. The box projection could work for this. And I mean, that's the thing is every object is different, and every projection, has its own certain uses. So I always recommend, just messing around with projection and relaxing and optimal mapping, which is what this is, can also work like we saw with the bottle cap. So I'm going to try box, and that actually turned out to be pretty good. It appears that the handles, this part and this part, have been kept intact, which are really crucial. Oops. Let me go into UV polygon mode. Okay, so it looks like if I select all these and see where they end up, okay, great. That's one side. And then let's see how this side looks. Oh, I see. Okay, so it looks like these three polygons, in the way it was mapped, are in a different, or in the opposite side of, they go right here, those go right here, and these ones go right there. There's two ways to go about it. Either you leave it where it is and don't mess with it, or you bring them apart, you bring them together like this. And I'll just show you real quick how that works, even though I'm not going to be texturing this part with text. I do want to show you how to fix that stuff in case it comes up. Okay, so it's these three polygons, or UV polygons, that don't want to work, and then it's these three that do work together. Now you can see how they don't match up right now, but if I select across, now all these are selected, which is fine. So what I would do is, first of all, you can see how it's opposite like that. So I'm going to go into the non-uniform scale tool and go on one end, and I'm just going to scale it horizontally mirror it. So now when I move it, it'll be right there. Now you can see how it matches up with this, but not exactly. So one thing to do, go back to the scale tool and just scale this a little bit vertically, a little bit horizontally, just to match that slope. Okay, so what we can do is go to UV point mode and really zoom in. And you can select these 2 points together, and you can tell how, even though it looks like 2 points right here, it's only 1 point right here, because it's the same point on both sides of the polygon. So you can do that. And then there's a command, if you right click and go to UV tools, there's a command called UV terrace, which basically means it connects, as long as they're congruent points, it'll connect them together. So you can do that for that side, and then we can go do the same thing for this right here. Right click, UV tools, UV terrace, connected. Those two, same thing. And then this last one. So now they're connected. We fixed that problem, which could happen a lot, it'll happen at some point, and it's important to know what tools to use to fix it. And then I'm just going to drag this right here. I'm going to scale it. Horizontally. But I'm not going to... And I'm going to UV terrace it as well and connect it. And connect. Okay, great. So now we go back to UV polygon mode and we draw a selection across. Especially if I go across like this. Awesome. It does connect all of them. Same with this side. Perfect. Okay, great. So that's all set up. That's fixed. This is actually a pretty good UV map. I'm assuming, let's see. That's pretty awesome. So it actually has laid out all of these along the whole side. So these are the inside feet. Oh, I see. And the cardboard edges. That's very helpful. Okay, great. That's actually really nice. So it has all of these set up in a different section. And if I select these as well, I'm assuming it's the rest of it. Okay, great. That's really nice. So we have that whole section laid out together like that. These set out like this. And then, oh, these are the insides. That's fine. Huh. Okay, so it's actually a little bit messed up because these are overlapping different sections. So if I move that out of the way, these are actually the inside sections of the 6-pack case. So yeah, there's several layers of UV polygons stacked on top of each other, and they had to be separated out. But that's okay. I mean, that's why you have the 3D version and the 2D version put together. It's really nice. Because I can select them here or I can select them here. And like, especially in situations like that where there's overlapping UV polygons, you can use the 3D version of the 3D view to separate everything out. So now this is really nice. We've got these set up. We've got these set up are going to be really important too. So I'm going to put them right here. And then these are actually, I see how this works. So if I select these, okay. Let's go like this. Okay, good. Okay, good. These are going to be minimized. They're not going to be as apparent as the other things. But it's good to know where these are all laid out. Okay, same with this side. So these three are obviously really important. I'm going to put those right here. This doesn't need to be that prominent. I'm just going to put that over here. And then, let's see. These are also not going to be that prominent, so I'm going to put them over here. And just to make sure, okay, great. So now this whole thing is a section. Oops. Oh, one more of these things too. These are important. I'm going to go over here. These are not that important. So they can stay over here. Okay. So what we really want, we want to keep this. This is very nice. This section like that. That's great. This needs to stay like it is. And then this also needs to stay like it is too. Another thing happens, like it was up here, this part is over on this side while the rest of it is over on this side, but I'm not going to worry about it this time. I've shown how to fix it. We can just go in and finish texturing this thing. Okay, so what I'm looking for really is I want to give a lot of space to this whole section right here, like just around. These are really the really prominent areas for texturing to put images on. And then these are going to be secondary, obviously the handle area and this one too. So now that I have all those selected, let's go in here and let's see, I'm just going to move these over here so that we know where they are, that they're important. And I'm going to select these and move them right here. Select these two, move them right here. So in a little bit, once these are minimized, we'll move these in and make them prominent and make sure that they have a sequential order, that they go from this side around this way, and then this side does the same thing. So we know where everything is. So I'm going to select these polygons. Let's see what are the ones that I get. I'm going to select those two, deselect that one, move this up here. That's going to end up being actually kind of important because we can put a cardboard texture or something, paper texture that's just going to be right here, which could be really helpful. Actually, there are some other UV polygons that need to be selected. Okay, perfect. So move that up here. These are the inside panels. We don't need those to be very big, so I'm going to scale those down. Put them up here. And then these are those walls. Again, don't need to be very important, so those can be scaled down and put over here. Same with those. Oops. Scaled down. Put over here. Inside panel, not important. Scale that down. Put over here. And then I'm not really sure what this is. Not really important. Scale that down. Nothing. Put that way over here. Same with this. Go over there. These are probably the inside panels. Again, not super important. But we can put a a cardboard texture on those at least. These are the other side, inside panels. Those panels and these panels have the same fate. Okay, great. That's the feet. That might be important actually. If you wanted to do really full package rendering, there would be stuff on the bottom. So you can put that in the corner right here. And this is not going to be super important, but it's good to have around. So I'm going to rotate this and put it next to that footprint. Like that. And these are important. Put them like that. And we can resize all this stuff too at some point. Okay, so the really important parts. That, and wrapping around to that side. So I'll put those right here. Now, if you wanted to, you could terrace them. If you wanted to do a wraparound, which could be pretty cool, you would do that. And let's do it. It looks that could be kind of fun. Make sure these are really in line. Perfect. Okay, UV terrace. Awesome. Same with those. Oops. Great. Let's now wrap around. It's really nice. So select all these, and you can see how they're selected right now. If I do the same thing on this side, that's great. And we can put them in here. I would actually rotate those. So they can be scaled. Pretty well. And I'm going to select these, scale it down, and move it over here. And then do the same thing for this section right here. Just make sure that these are the right polygons. Awesome. Okay. UV terrace. Great. Rotate that again this way. Scale this one down. Scale this one down. And then just scale this one up as much as possible and try to fit it in. Like that. Okay. It's pretty good. I'm going to scale this one a little bit too, just because we have the room. And that's a pretty good UV map. Custom made too, which is really nice to know. It's really important to know that because it's going to mostly end up being like that. And knowing how that works and how to lay them out is going to be crucial knowledge. So let's save that. Now let's make a texture. So save texture as. Well, actually first, before we do that, let's create a UV mesh layer. So we have that set up, and now we can do save texture as a Photoshop. Okay. And then we call this 6-pack case texture. And there we go. So just to see how this looks, we can just do a quick texture with that previously made beer bottle label. So take this, bring it in. And just to see if this wraparound worked right, let's put that right here. That should be upside down, so I'm going to rotate that. Make this whole layer yellow. Have the UV mesh. I'm going to copy this and do it on this side too. See how it works. And see how it looks. Go back here to cinema. Revert to saved. Look at that. Sweet. And just to check it out, let's go back into Photoshop and turn this UV layer mesh back on. And I'm going to copy that over, and then I'm actually going to see what happens, how this looks on the handle as well. And I'm going to also do the same thing on this side too. just for fun, just kind of plaster it like that. Could be kind of cool. And one thing too that's important, what I like to do for these different sections is I want to make a group layer, and put a layer mask on it. So I'm going to say handle 1, have that selected, and then I'm going to draw a rectangular marquee around it, and then hit the layer mask button. So what that's going to do, if I hit Alt and do that, I'm going to be able to drop whatever I want into this layer, into this group layer, like this. Let's see which one. This one. I'm going to drop this into the group layer right here. It'll be masked just for that area, which is exactly what I want. So I'd recommend doing groups for each section, like, you know, for this handle, for this part, do it all, to have all groups set up so you can just drop objects in. So I'm going to do handle 2, same thing, draw a marquee around this handle 2, layer mask, and then drop this into that, and it gets masked, which will be sweet. And then do the same thing for the other part. Let's see. It's not going to work like that, so we can do, I'll make a dark layer so I can't really see anything. Okay. So I use the polygon lasso tool to set up a do that. Layer mask. Wrap around 1. And put that in there. Awesome. And so now whatever I move around inside this layer is going to be stuck inside that section, which is really nice. I can actually make this really big. Let's see how it works out. Okay. Save. And then the last one. Group, layer mask, turn this on, put it in there, and then okay, great. UV mesh layer off, hit save. Let's come back here and let's revert and see how it looks. That is killer. Okay. You have got a textured 6-pack case, a textured bottle, and bottle cap. Now we can start doing really fun stuff. We can do some lighting, some rendering, get these materials set up with reflections and alpha channels and the glass transparency and everything. We're getting very close to making a very nice product. So I'll see you in the next section.